These are the frames for a G-made Sawback. They don't have anything on them yet. I'm about to start installing the brackets and all on them. They're pretty hefty C-channel nickel plated frames. Pretty strong there. Not too much to say about them. I'm going to start screwing on all of the attachments. I've already got one on there, so I could show what's going to happen there. They're just simple metal brackets with plastic spacers in there, and they go all up and down the length of the frame. So I'll get those installed and then start screwing on the transmission and get the axles mounted. This is the C-channel frame with all the attachments put on. As you can see, we have leaf spring mounts on both sides. These little deck posts, they're absolutely for no reason. Nothing gets screwed into them as far as I can see from skipping through the manual. I'm not even sure why exactly they had me attach those. Also, I have the body mounts and the shock towers, and they're all just screwed on with either nylon screws or nylon nuts or flange nuts. I'm not too convinced on the strength of those flange nuts to hold these parts on with the vibrations. I guess we'll see as it goes on. That's something I'll keep an eye on, just to make sure those don't loosen while I'm driving with the vibrations. Here you can see an empty frame with all the parts that go on. There's the two shock towers, the body mounts, these two more of these useless posts, and the assorted hardware to mount the leaf springs. So I'm going to get the other side together and then start screwing it together. Here I have the two frames completely assembled. Now all that has to be done is they're attached by the transmission, the battery mount, and the ESC and receiver plate. The receiver plate is huge. That's much bigger than a lot of other manufacturers give you for a receiver. The Spectrum receivers, I think, run a little bit large, so that'll help me out, especially if I decide to put a waterproof receiver in there. So now I'll just attach the frames, the two sides of the frame together, and that'll complete my frame. And then I can start attaching my axles and the other things, the shocks and all. So here's the frame completely constructed with the axles on both ends. You can already see a little bit of bend there. They give you the option, 3 options for the leaf spring mounts. The first option is not to have zip ties on the top and mid spring, but as you can see, the spring just kicks out right there on compression, so you pretty much have to zip tie that down. So I'll be zip tying that, and that's about it. I will have to remove the transmission and install the motor when it comes in, because it will not fit. It will not be able to be screwed in as is. So, but there's the frame with the receiver box, ESC, battery tray. Battery sits right in there. I'm gonna have to fabricate some Velcro straps so I don't have to use the zip ties that they provide. But that's the frame. Next up is the shocks. Getting the shocks built and mounted, and we'll go from there.